I don't know if you've seen the video from the Archbishop of York, interviewed by Trevor Phillips, talking about immigration and particularly Nigel Farage's solution. He's not very happy with it. He thinks we've got to address these world problems. I think it's only fair to let you have a quick sneaky peeky at him, because
you land here unlawfully.
Here's what he said.
To respond to those people who are saying policy should be, you land here unlawfully, you get locked up and you get deported straight away. No ifs, no buts.
Well, I'd say to them, you haven't solved a problem. You've put it somewhere else, and you've done nothing to address the issue of what brings people to this country. And so, if you think that's the answer, you will discover in due course that all you have done is made the problem worse. So don't misunderstand me. I have every sympathy with those who find this difficult. Every sympathy, as I do with those living in poverty. But I don't think we should actively resist the kind of isolationist, short-term, knee-jerk, send them home.
Let's put a name on it. Is that your message to Mr. Farage?
Well, it is. I mean, Mr. Farage is saying the things he's saying, but he is not offering any long-term solution to the big issues which are convulsing our world.
To the big issues that are convulsing our world. Well, you see, the thing is, these big issues are from Africa, and they're from the Middle East, and they're from other countries. They're not our issues. And we were not put on this planet to pay taxes to sort out world problems from countries who haven't been as well off as us. When I say well off, I don't mean necessarily financially. I mean, we live in a democracy, or we did. So I've really kind of took the hump with this religious cleric. So I decided to put pen to paper, or, finger to keyboard. So here's my response to the cleric. So here's a man who's gone straight from education into a religious order, where he is provided with the use of several homes that he hasn't had to buy. His bills are paid, and his job will never be done by a migrant who does it cheaper. He won't have any family who might be the victim of an attack by a migrant, and he won't have to worry about his child sitting next to a 19-year-old sexually active male who's already murdered 2 people in a class of 14-year-olds, which happened in Bournemouth. He's obviously well nourished and won't have to look in his purse to wonder if he can afford fresh fruit or steak, knowing that migrants are getting that from an extensive menu every single day on the back of the taxpayer. I say he has no business in these matters, and his position is way too out of touch. He's the glamour end of religion. Bearing in mind the Church of England is filled with people from corporate backgrounds, including even the oil industry. So I think my comments are sound as far as that man is concerned. World problems. Yes, he's gone straight from university into a cosseted, comfortable career, and as you can see from his build, he's exceptionally well nourished, and he'll eat well, and he'll put it on expenses. These people aren't in touch with the real world. Now, the other thing that concerns me is Twitter. Since Elon Musk has backed Advance UK, someone brought this to my attention. I wasn't aware of it. It's a bit of a techie guy, and in his view, it says this just confirms Elon as a psyops. There's an account here on Twitter. I don't know if you know how Twitter works, but you need a big following. I've got 235,000 followers. Some people only have a handful. This account here I'm looking at has got 199 followers. It's nothing on Twitter. And it's called Ben, the account, and it's got a St George's flag. And the statement is, well, I've just cancelled my membership with Reform and I've joined Advance UK, and I feel Advance UK are the political party that will unite the kingdom. And it's tagged Ben Habib. Now that has got 200,000 views. and been retweeted 400 times. How the hell can he get retweeted 400 times from a following of 199 people? How does that even work? Could have a point, couldn't he? I mean, Elon's in control of comms on Twitter, and the most pushback to reform comes from Twitter. It doesn't come from Facebook. In fact, on Facebook, there's a lot of people getting fed up of all these parties. I've just put a post out today. Someone's contacted me. They're thinking of starting a political party. Another one, which will give us 17 parties on the right. And you wonder why the left and the Liberals are in power all the time. They've only ever had three choices. The Lib Dems, Labour Party, and the wet white bloody Tories, who are no more conservative than the Greens. They've got their little cabal sorted out. They just swap all the votes around amongst the parties. Us lot, oh no, we have to have 17 now. Well, that's if they get off the ground. And they asked me for a suggestion for a name. I said, yeah, why don't you call it what the fucking hell are we playing at party? That'd be a good name for you, because you're going to go nowhere. You're going to waste people's time and your own. And I've been trying to get small parties to work together for years. It won't happen. It'll never happen. Egos, massive. They're like they've stuck a marrow on their head. Oh, my ego is so big. I'm so important. No, you're bloody not. What's more important is us. And what happens to us, because while you fragment that vote, all of you, while you fragment that vote, you are leaving us with a future wrapped up in indefinite, perpetual form of communism. That's what you're leaving us with. And like it or not, I've criticised reform uphill and down Dale in the past when they deserved it. When they were like the other parties, going nowhere, flapping around in a sea with no life jacket. Now we've got a life jacket. And it's the first time ever for years we've had any hope in hell of getting anywhere near power. And we've a long way to go, and it's going to be a rocky road. So I am so against people splitting the vote. And I'm sorry, but it doesn't matter how much money Elon throws at this, you cannot educate all those people, millions who do not follow Twitter. Facebook users don't generally have a Twitter account. They're not bothered about it, and vice versa. People who watch YouTube don't bother with Twitter. And people out there in the real world, stood in the queue in the supermarket in front of you, filling up at the petrol station, aren't even looking to social media for politics. 3 out of 39 people I interviewed even knew about GB News. That's how far back some people are. But they're all getting poorer, and they're all getting more fed up with Keir Starmer. And I'm telling you now that in my messages, on Facebook particularly, that red wall that put Boris in is being reassembled, brick by brick, because Keir Starmer lied to people to get them to vote for him. He lied to every denomination we have, students, pensioners, big, small businesses. He lied to everybody. You only get away with that once. You only get one chance to make a first impression, and he's blown it. He's blown it. So the chances are, I don't think we'll get to 2029, more like 2027 now, with the way things are going. And what we have to do is keep reform squeaky clean. Squeaky, squeaky, squeaky clean till we get there. They've just stood a councillor down who was at the Epping protest. They haven't stood him down. Contrary to the clickbaiters on Twitter, they have not stood him down because he attended the protest. They've stood him down because of content on his social media. Because he said that the hotel were basically babysitting. I think he even said that in an interview, actually. He said that the hotel were babysitting paedophiles. And he said on his social media accounts, I think it was Twitter X, he said, he described the hotel as a paedophile babysitting centre, and in social media posts on X referred to Islam as an evil criminal cartel of evildoers, and claimed it would suck our benefits system dry. Now, we're not discussing whether or not a person has a right to have these thoughts and opinions, but you've got to be super savvy if you're going to be somebody in authority, in power, a councillor, a mayor, whatever. You're going to have to think twice. You can't just shoot off at the mouth. It's different for me. I'm a blogger. I'm not trying to influence local government spending, am I? I'm sat here talking to you. And I would never put something like that anyway, because I think it's bad form, and I think you'll alienate as many people as you'll attract, if not more. So we have to be savvy now. We have to be smart. In an ideal world, let's just everybody go dark and do nothing. Just wait until there's like then spring out and vote. That'd be great. Then nobody's at any risk. Because I do think going to public demonstrations now, they need to be generic. They need to be the ordinary people. For Christ's sake, stop just turning up at them, making up the numbers. It's not about how many people you get there. It's about the genuine feeling behind the protest. The women in pink, superb effort. I've often said the women will sort this out, just like they did with Northern Ireland, because it needs it needs this compassionate. We need to get them to feel what we're feeling. We don't want to inflame them being angry at us for feeling that way. That's the wrong approach. We need to break through that barrier of this elitist crowd, like that bloody pillock, the Archbishop of York, who don't see it. You know, he's sat there, obviously exceptionally well nourished. He'll be eating out in fancy restaurants. They all go to Michelin star restaurants. They know how to dine. They're not sat there wondering how to pay the bills. They're thinking of the next speech or maybe reading Chaucer. Well, we don't give a flying about that. We want our lives sorting out. And the way we have to do it is to appeal to them to sort it out. Angry people seldom get the response they want. You get a response by people getting it, by empathy, by them knowing what you're on about. And we are dealing with a soulless set of people in Labour. You've only got to look, Angela Rayner, come on. Second home, 800 grand, 40 grand tax safe, shebang. These people, they're not with us. They're just, all they want is a set of obedient livestock on their tax farm. But there's people like me and people like you that aren't going to put up with it. And we're pushing back so hard now. I mean, they really, really are. They are afraid of reform. There's no two ways about it. They don't give a monkeys about the other lot. Oh, but come an election time, you wait while the left-wing press and the media, your Sky News and your Channel 4s get hold of some of the tweets that I've seen from Ben and Rupert. They're going to rinse them. In the meantime, it's your duty to enjoy your life. I got a message from a woman yesterday. Dreadful. Lost her husband. She's awake, but there only seems to be her and her husband that were awake where she lives. And her life has diminished. And she's really feeling it. But what we've got to do, we've got to remember that if you've not got a big following and, you know, don't make your life miserable trying to fight what we're fighting. There's only one thing going to really make a difference. That's you talking to people in a relaxed manner, waking them up, voting on the day. We can sort the political end of it out. We can't sort all the cultural stuff out. That'll have to come after we've got shut of the political nonsense from the two main parties. We need to break through that like a cutter cutting through an ice floe. And once you've broken it up, you can see the water then, can't you? And then we can move on. This is the beginning of the beginning, if you know what I mean. We're starting again now. And I never see political parties as the perfect answer. That would be foolish. They'd never satisfy my needs. But I'm prepared to work with them until I get to a position where I feel confident and safe for my future. That's what I'm hoping for. And if I can do it in my lifetime, that secures it for you and your grandkids and all the rest of it, doesn't it? So I'm not out for anything other than making it better for, you know, what I've done for myself. And part of that is I'll finish this now. I'm going to have a slice of toast laced with jam. Massive treat, that. And sit outside in my garden with the dogs. And I'll enjoy that. I'll switch off from doing this. I'll be back on later, but you've got to do that. You've got to do it for yourself. You need to remember that you've got to put your life first. You secure your own environment. Keep your wage coming in. Keep your family happy. Put food on the table. Do your fighting after you've done that. Don't replace the fight for that. Never. I'd never ask you to do it. I don't think you should. You come first. Family and loved ones come first. Friends secondary to that. And we've got to get the best out of every day, no matter what's going on. Oh, don't forget to click subscribe. It helps.